Your Steam library dies with you. Valve says you
Oh
can't
yeah.
pass down your Steam library to next of kin or loved ones in the event of your death. Modern gamers who have fully embraced digital gaming may believe that the titles they've purchased will belong to them in perpetuity, but if anyone's hoping to pass on their Steam backlog to their next of kin, it turns out Valve doesn't allow the rights to be transferred. In other words, your Steam library dies with you. Via Ars Technica, a user on Reset Era posted a reply they received from Steam support regarding their question about passing on their Steam library through a will. Unfortunately, Steam accounts and games are non transferable, replied a representative from Valve. Steam support can't provide someone else with access to the account or merge its contents with another account. I regret to inform you that your Steam account cannot be transferred via a will. Some users have put a considerable amount of money into their Steam libraries, and it may be disheartening to hear that those games could simply be gone following the death of the Steam account owner. However, the easiest workaround may be to simply pass on the username and login info to potential heirs without informing Steam. The thorny issue of who really owns the digital games would remain, but at least the titles would still be playable. An additional way to preserve Steam games is to pass down any computers that already have the titles downloaded. However, without access to the original Steam account, those games wouldn't be available for installation on a different device or even accessible for reinstallation on the computer they're currently on in the event of a hard drive crash or other system failure. For that reason alone, this may not be an optimal solution, but until Valve offers users a better way to pass on their games, there aren't many other options available. So let's get comments. X Mario X goes, will they close down Valve when Gabe dies? He can hand over the company to others and they to others in perpetuity, but the people who they profit off of it can't. Pete Banyan goes, this underscores the need for more robust regulations in the digital industry. Digital ownership should be clearly defined as the point of purchase, not buried in a lengthy terms of service agreement. For instance, Sony's Funimation marketed digital movies with the promise of owning it forever, yet they rescinded all purchases following the acquisition of Crunchyroll and the subsequent closure of Funimation. I'm not suggesting that digital distribution should last indefinitely, just as physical games depend on functioning consoles and games, but it should be transparent what I am purchasing. And Baptist goes, they need to change the buy button to a rent button. So, what do you think
Mm.
about this? Basically, if you die and that person had a bunch of Steam games, they can't be transferred.
Oh, well, who's going to stop? Who's going to stop that person from transferring over that data? Unless you're going to try to lock people's accounts to the point of like through biometrics, and even that people are going to accept that over time. You know,
Well, they're saying no, they're just saying like you can't transfer your Steam library to another owner, even if it's put in a will.
fuck that. I don't care. That's in my fucking Steam library. I'm the one who paid for those games. It's my own dollars that I earned, or at least was gifted, at least to other people. What about them? You gotta tell them that they can't have access to my Steam library if they gifted my games to me and that account. It doesn't make any sense. It's anti-consumer. I
Yeah,
don't
that
get these customers. I mean, the companies. They have some right over our embodiment, what we put on for our accounts and all. Like if we have access to our account, that's my account. And if we want to give it to someone else or through means of like sharing, if ever, I don't know how's that going to work, but definitely transferring. Hey, my friend from high school, hey, here's my password information, my user in case I pass away, and all of a sudden I pass away, you got access to my account. What's there to stop, for them from me
there's
making?
nothing except there's really nothing. I mean, that they're saying that's the only way to do it though, is to give someone your username and password. Like, and like if someone's gonna get your Steam library, basically you gotta provide them your login information um,
Okay.
when you do it. But um, but basically they would have to, and then just don't tell Steam or Valve. Or
Mm-hmm.
it just sucks though that you can't transfer the games that you purchased um, if you die. I mean, so there's nothing to take. There's nothing like if let's just say Dr. Games 101 had a huge Steam library and he passed away and he left his Steam library to me. If he leaves his login information, like in a will or something, then I could obviously just go on Steam under his login information, play his games, and buy ones that I want. There's nothing Valve or Steam can do as long as no one tells them. But at
Or
the same,
incorporates, let's say, or incorporate biometrics, where it's like it has to be an eye reader or a fingerprint. You know.
well, good luck with that because how many people are going to be able to afford devices that can do that?
Well, not about affording. It's actually happening. They're cheap Android products like the track phones, the Metro PCS. You know, they actually have these biometrics, fingerprint, three finger, switcheroo, whatever it's called. You know, to verify your login. It's scary. You
They
know,
do, yeah, they do that for phones, but I'm saying, and maybe tablets, but it's not going to work on a computer because a computer is usually not touchscreen.
who's to say that Microsoft does it on Windows 12 can do that one day, where you can do biometrics on Windows 12 computers, if ever. You know.
I
That's what's happening. They actually did that back 10 years ago, where they actually had like a touchscreen monitor where you could do like your three finger password or biometric password with Windows. They actually
Yeah,
have that
they
feature.
can choose to do that. I'm just saying they really can't force that because people who choose not to use it won't. And then you think you want to talk about a potential customer base plummeting if they force people to do that. So like they said, the real problem is Steam or Valve not allowing this, even though they say you bought the games. Again, that's why physical is much better. That's why retro is better. But yeah, so far the only way you got is if someone wants to will their Steam account to someone, they got to provide the login information as well, or otherwise
Hmm.
that Steam account is worthless.
Oh yeah.